Hey everybody, Vinny SOB, and I want to make a video today. I guess kind of a rant video. It's just about gaming in general, and I guess we'll have some Wickengermon going on in the background here from a video I wasn't gonna post because it was. You can see how foggy it was when you zoom out. Cool map too. It's unfortunate, but at any rate, uh, yeah. I mean, really, what's been bothering the living hell out of me is this new Star Wars Battlefront game. And I know everybody's talking about it, or lots of people are, and some people might not care in any way, shape, or form, but I do. Um, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I've seen every one of them except for Rogue One in the theater upon original release, even the original. So yeah, I was very young, but I was around for that. So I grew up with it, man. I had all the toys. I mean, the original '70s toys, all that crap. So it really bothers me. And I've noticed that other people in my age group that have channels, most of them have actual real channels, not even just like me showing videos. Like they do game discussions and reviews and all kinds of things. They're all in my same age range, and it makes me think. I thought maybe we're just all grumpy, but the truth of it is we were lucky enough to be around from the dawn of gaming, back when there were arcades. You can go spend quarters all day to play, you know, Street Fighter or just any, Mortal Kombat or any of the original games that were, in the theater, Ghosts and Goblins, things like that. Double Dragon. But at any rate, we've I guess seen things from their infancy, and specifically with Star Wars, being just a tremendous Star Wars fan and loving everything Star Wars. I was extremely pumped when they announced that DICE would be doing a new Battlefront. Back when they did the original one a couple years back, a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was so excited. I loved the original Battlefront games. And I was actually part of the alpha. I mean, I've had EA accounts. Going back, I mean, when they were just nothing but sports. So, I mean, I've probably had an EA account longer than some people watching this have been alive. And so I was part of their alpha for the first. We got to participate playing the alpha of the first game. Actual dog shit. I played 15 minutes of it, and I was just. I turned it off. I was like, what the fuck is this? Who are all these fucktards bouncing around with jetpacks on? Said, where in the hell when did you ever see rebel soldiers fucking running around with these goddamn things? It's just unfucking believable. I've never seen rebels with jetpacks bouncing all around. They're throwing down shields. And I said, what is this? I walked up to a floating icon and I can get into a TIE fighter. I said, what is this bullshit? Absolute trash. I gave them all my feedback right off the bat. I said, you haven't stuck to canon in any way, shape, or form. I said, these star cards are a bunch of bullshit. Call of Duty is Call of Duty. Let it do its perk system thing. You don't need to do that. Look at the old Battlefront. You didn't need all these perks. And you didn't need guns that didn't actually go with the character class. There were no classes at all, as a matter of fact. It was absolute crap. You didn't even have classes. So I hated it, man. I was just so fucking pissed. It looked amazing, and that was it. The sound was amazing. But it doesn't matter. Graphics alone don't make a game. It has to be fun. And, I will be 44 on the 25th of this month, November 25th. So I've seen the heyday of games, when games were actually good. Games didn't charge you for all kinds of extra shit. It was all just in the game, and you played the game because it was great. And it wasn't just because we were simple, and because a lot of it was even current. I mean, I can look back to, and it's been some years now, but even if you look back to something like Battlefield Bad Company 2, right? Arguably the best Battlefield made. I mean, some people might agree, might not agree. I think for fun factor it was. It had its own issues. One of them being at that time they were really competing with Call of Duty at that time, and they said we're the Call of Duty killer. And Call of Duty 4 had been out, and they had introduced the perk system, which at least those perks. Call of Duty 4 was actually a great game as far as the Call of Duty games. In fact, I think it was probably the best Call of Duty, at least the modern ones by far. Before all the crazy kill streaks and all the crazy shit, still had objective-based mode, and it was just a damn good game. But Battlefield tried to copy that. And that's why they added like Magnum ammo and some of this other bullshit that really made Bad Company, it was kind of a frustrating thing about Bad Company. But you could see if you got into a fight with someone that had Magnum ammo and you didn't, you're going to lose if you both shot at the same time. It was one of those weird perks that, really improved gameplay to the point where it made a tremendous difference. Almost everyone just ran around with it. And I thought, why not just get rid of this shit and just up the damn model? Why not just do that? But at any rate, they never did, of course. But all of the maps were free. You didn't pay for any DLC until they actually came out with a whole separate game, which was their Vietnam. And it was dirt cheap, and it was a whole game. The only problem was it kind of split the player base, because some people bought it, some didn't. Most people did. It wasn't a lot of money. And some people played it for longer than others. Some people went back to the old game, but it did kind of split the player base a bit. But again, you didn't pay for maps. I think the game was out for a couple of years and they were still releasing maps. Like conversions of their Conquest maps over to Rush maps and Rush to Conquest and things like that. They were still supporting it. They weren't charging you for it. So, and that was not that long ago that Bad Company 2 came out. Even if it was, 8 years ago now? Maybe, I don't know. But still, it's not like a lifetime ago. And, so you saw this weird progression happening, right? And the old Battlefront 2 was 2005. So that was like 11 years ago. That's quite a while ago, and you can see it in the graphics, and you can kind of, it's a little, it's not as polished as the new one, but of course the game mechanics were there. If you're a Rebel soldier, you carried the guns that Rebel soldiers actually carried in the movies and in the books and stuff. It followed canon. The classes were actually far superior. A heavy wasn't made to mow down troops. It was made to take out vehicles because there was a lot of vehicle-based combat. They completely changed. These new classes are just dumb shit. You've got your sniper basically fine, whatever. The officer class, okay, they had something like that in the original. But you also had a pilot class. The heavy class, again, was more vehicle-based. That's why it was kind of... Not because you wanted to walk around with some fucking bullshit non-existent in the movies or in the books or anything shield in front of it. So when you stray away from canon, and I think that's maybe something, again, maybe more people my age, you stray from canon, it automatically puts a bad taste in my mouth. Don't like that. That was the first thing. So I'm getting off track. The point is, I'm so frustrated, and I know you probably, who the fuck hasn't talked about this, these bullshit microtransactions and all of that with this new Battlefront. I was super pumped when I saw it was coming out. I played the open beta for about an hour, and I was like, this is actually pretty fun. Oh my god, they've improved this game dramatically from Battlefront, their DICE's first version of this. I still didn't think it was great. I still didn't think it was as good as a whole, as far as actual gameplay, as good as the original Battlefront series, because it wasn't. You didn't have bases to spawn from where you jump in vehicles, all that. A lot of the cool things that were in the originals, weren't there. It's another, they went back to this like on the rails kind of walker assault mode, just without a walker on the the beta map. Droid, tank that was coming in. It was gonna drop a bunch of troops and blow a hole in the palace. But again, it was back to that, let's hit it with disruptors and stupid shit like that. But still, it wasn't bad. What started bothering me was after playing for a while, I started noticing I was getting killed by people. And after they kill you, you have a kill cam, and it would show you, like, their name and whatever. And I was looking at some of these people had these fucking cards, and these cards are like, do 20% more damage. And I'm thinking, So what, now they have Magnum ammo? And then you look, there's one that's like 40% more damage. And it's like, well, how in the fuck are you supposed to... How are you supposed to compete against that kind of shit? You know, and I think that, and especially if it's random or whatever, and if it's random and people are getting crushed by it, and there's actual real money you can spend to get more chances at these items, that's pay to win. That's the way that's before the discussion really came out, because it wasn't really, no one talked about it until the beta. At least not much. But after playing the beta, it was completely obvious. It was so, and that bothered the shit out of me. I didn't know the extent of it until more time went on. But it was really the fact they kind of got away from canon was really bothering me. And also, when I played the Starfighter Assault mode, which I was like, wow, this is so cool. I'm in an X-Wing, I'm flying, and I'm in a TIE Fighter, cockpit view, whatever, you know, it has cockpit view, all that other shit. You know, I'm all about, you know, as realistic as possible while still maintaining a fun level. And then I noticed that the TIE Fighters had shields. And I thought, that's not right. And then the TIE Fighters had photon torpedoes. And I said, what the fuck is this? When did they start doing this? This isn't any kind of like TIE intercept. This is regular fucking TIE Fighter. No shields. It's supposed to be, you know, it just, I don't know. Are they doing it for balance? You know, what are they doing here? But it didn't matter. Then I saw cards. Like, you have a repair, you have like a fucking 20% increased repair. I'm like, so this is going to affect the fighting, the planes, the fucking heroes, any kind of class you are. I said, this is just absolute fucking dog shit. And out of principle, I'm not going to buy this motherfucker. I don't care. And I had a pre-order for it, which, again, I normally do not pre-order because I'm against that kind of practice, because all it does is promote them to make you pre-order more shit. And that's how they're able to drive the price up and do all this other shit. It's all a game. And the gaming industry is winning. And people are starting to actually wake up and say, you know, fuck this. I returned I got rid of my pre-order. I canceled that. And that's it. I'm definitely not getting it. And the sad thing was the game was fun. And if they would have left it without any star cards, without any weapons upgrades, without any of the dumb shit, if you're in the droid army, you carried a fucking droid army rifle, and that's all you need. You don't need all the bullshit. You carry whatever your fucking class carries, like it did in the movie, like it did in canon, and that's it. You know, if you unlock some special, or you want to use your whatever goofy points you earned while playing to jump into a fucking tank or into another character class that has these other more different, you know, weapons, and they really shouldn't be a power level on them. That's, you know, another thing I don't get. Like, why? It just doesn't make fucking sense. Why make all these weapons have these different damage levels? You know what I mean? Unless you're going to have like a short range, high damage, like a shotgun style weapon, or if you're going to have a long range, you know, weapon that, you know, there's consistent damage and, you know, over distance, and it's more for a play style thing, then yeah, I get it. But, you know, if you look at the model Battlefield 3 took, you had a 5.56, all the guns did the same damage. Some dropped off a little at range only because they had shorter barrels. They weren't as accurate, or maybe had a higher fire rate, but the damage was the same for the bullet size. 7.62 barely did any more damage than a 5.56, because in real life you get shot by an AK, you get shot by an M16, doesn't matter, you're gonna be fucking dead. They're gonna kill you. Yes, 7.62 is a bigger round. They can penetrate shit. You know, like it's gonna have more. It has more mass. But again, they're both kill you. They're both deadly. So if you have one kill you at 3 bullets, the other one kills you at 3.5, or, you know, 2.5, whatever the fuck. But they kept that in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. That's how the weapons work. That way, there is no end-all be-all weapons. You don't have to worry about an OP weapon. They're all the fucking same. It's just, what do you prefer? I was still running around after like a year of playing with some of the original weapons, because I had used them so much. I had like cool scopes on them and shit, and like a handle, whatever the fuck. I just liked the way they handled. And I played with other weapons. They had a little more kick, or they, you know, kick to the right, or whatever the fuck it was. And I just was more comfortable with some of the original weapons, and they were just as good. I never had an issue where I can't kill them with this weapon. I don't have this, you know, fancy fucking thing that they have after playing for, you know, how many ever matter. And that's what kept the game fun. This whole method, of having these fucking overpowered things, and I just don't get it. But I don't get it. It's so that the whole fucking gaming industry is like this now. It's pre-order this and you get this shit. After you fucking pretty much lock in your pre-order, then buy this super edition and you get all this other shit. And then it's like, well, not only are you gonna do that, we're gonna sell you a fucking season pass, and then you get more shit, and then we'll do this. And it was just, looking back now, I mean, EA, remember when they bought up all the licenses? They got all the licenses for like the football games, so like 2K couldn't make, Sega couldn't make football games anymore. Then they lost the rights to hockey, and EA was smart. You know, they monopolized all this shit. Which, of course, when you have no competition, there's nothing to drive innovation. So it's just, you know, it sucks. They pretty much cornered the market on sports games, for the most part, at least football, well, American football, and I mean, even FIFA, I guess, you know, has a huge chunk. PES, I guess, is out there too. But it doesn't matter. They did that, then they came out with their season passes, and the pre-ordering shit, and the season pass, all this other different shit they did that over time has led to this. So then they give these bullshit excuses. And I've watched some of these interviews with these fucking EA fucktards, and they're like, oh, you know, we don't want these guys to, you know, the player who just spent all their fucking money on our game to play just linearly. We want to give them cards to promote them to do this. It's just all a bunch of shit. And maybe DICE had nothing to do with it. Maybe they were told, you're going to figure out another fucking way to make us more money on this fucking thing. And maybe they had to do it. Or maybe, you know, fuck it. I mean, they're in for the money too. I mean, that's why people are in business. But as people keep buying this shit and agree to it, they're going to keep doing it. So, you know, we're in a bad place right now. Because all these fucking games are going to it. And, you know, I don't give a fuck about most games, but I do care about Star Wars. Because I want to play a fucking good Battlefront game. And now I can't. Because out of principle, I won't buy it. But number two, that kind of shit gets old real quick. And, you know, again, I didn't find it as fun as the old games. I thought the graphics were the biggest draw. Graphics and sound. I think were a bigger draw than the actual gameplay itself. Because of the goofy shit, with like the shields and all the dumb shit. You know, the vehicle combat was pretty much completely gone. There wasn't really no vehicle combat like the originals. Yeah. So it wasn't the most fun game in the world. Really, the Starfighter part was the most fun. But if you have ships that are going to be able to do 40% more damage and all this other shit, and you buy this, I'm not spending money on some fucking things, and I easily can afford it. And I'm not a kid. I can afford whatever the fuck I want in gaming-wise. It's not the point. It's principle. That's why I want to do it. So, and that was one of my biggest gripes with Relic making Company Heroes 2. And that's why it took me so long to even start playing this fucking game. Because the minute I saw that they had pay-to-play, not necessarily pay-to-win, but pay-to-play commanders and skins and bullshit. Like, they want you to pay $20 for a commander pack, and I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? You mean to tell me I need to pay you for shit to play the game, and I just bought the fucking game? Now, I don't mind, and again, I think it was also bullshit that the US and the British weren't included in this game from the start. You know, I understand in the first when they had this DLC stuff, they didn't know what the fuck they were making when they made the first game. They didn't know how it would do. You know, it was an experiment, right? This whole cover system, all this shit, this was all an experiment with Company of Heroes 1. It's a huge success. They knew the American and British armies were going to be in it from the fucking start, but they charged you separately for it. Which is fucking stupid. If you... You know, I don't know. Yeah, so... again, it's just when I saw Relic doing that, and that's why I wouldn't play the game until Spearhead came out. Once Spearhead came out, that's when I played it. And then I was still like, well, I don't like this fucking goofy, like, you're telling me what powers are going to unlock when. You're just doing all that shit for me. You're holding my hand, giving me abilities, and saying, you get this many points, it unlocks this. This is how it's going to work. You no longer have, like, you know, a tech tree or any kind of shit to go through, make decisions which could fuck you or help you. This is how it works. So, and I mean, Spearhead was far better than the original, as I've shown in the last couple videos. I don't see why anyone would play that original piece of shit. But, But yeah, so EA, fucking Relic, Ubisoft, whatever fucking bullshit. All these fucking companies, I get that they're in it to make money, but as people just fucking go along with this program, that's why they just keep pushing the limits of, well, okay, yeah, pre-order, fucking season passes, all this other shit. You get a fighting game like Mortal Kombat, it's like $6 for an additional character. Each character is like an additional $6. Shit that should just be in the fucking game. You know, whatever. Or if you want to sell me a whole fucking extra DLC pack, backgrounds, you know, boards, whatever the fuck to play on, and some new characters for like $5 or something, okay, that's reasonable. You know. And let's not forget too all the bullshit excuses that, well, the tech and all this other shit, and it's, you know, costs a lot of money to do this and that. Yeah, if you were the first, if you were innovating, they're not innovating any of this shit. The Frostbite engine exists already. As tech gets better, the price of using it goes down. Tech, I mean, it's like, look at a fucking, you know, high-def TV 5 years ago, or whatever the hell, you'll hear in the U.S., it was, you know, let's say it's like my TV's a 60-inch. That thing was like, you know, $5,000, something like that, a couple years back. You know, now it's 60-inch. You can get for fucking a grand at 1080p less, $500-600. It's just, it's insane that they use those excuses. You know, a gaming PC to build to the specs, or even close to the specs that you know, like a high-end PC is now, that shit would cost you 4 times as much, you know, just 5 years ago. As technology improves, the price is driven down. So that's all bullshit that EA's spouting about upkeep, all this bullshit. I don't know. The long and short of it is, I'm fed up with it. I really fucking am super disappointed that that I'm not going to have a Battlefront game here, because I'm just out of principle. And again, it wasn't even, it was fun, but not like, oh yeah, I have to keep playing it fun. Like honestly, I played it for an hour or so, and I think I just turned it off. I don't think I ever went back to it. It wasn't that great, and the shit that turned me off about it wasn't enough to make me stop playing it. It just wasn't fun enough to really go back and say like, oh, I have to play this. You know, it's not like when I, you know, if you remember Battlefield 4 or any of the games that maybe you really liked, like Left 4 Dead, for example, or Left 4 Dead 2. I mean, I remember I didn't want to put that fucking thing down. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's my thought on all that shit. And I know this isn't the kind of channel I have. I usually put up a bunch of bullshit videos, so I don't usually get involved with all this other bullshit. But as a gamer, I'm just fed up, and I'm hoping that other people, you know, are getting fed up too. And again, this does apply to the whole Company Heroes thing, because Relic was pulling the same shit with adding DLC for like fucking factions that should already be in the game for one. I don't care, you want to add this Ardens, Assault, and all this other bullshit. I've never even played those bullshit things because the vanilla sucks so bad. I wouldn't waste my time playing missions with vanilla mechanics. If you allowed me to use like Spearhead or Wigginger mechanics or something, yeah, it'd fucking be all great about it. Or if you had like a realism mode or something, yeah, maybe I'd play it then. But yeah, it's a waste. I don't want to spend my fucking money on shit I'm never gonna use. But I have to if I want to get these fucking other factions. You know, it's just fucking stupid. You know, shit that should be in the game already. And then again, the microtransactions and all the fucking stupid shit like skins and commanders and all that other bullshit, that pay-to-play thing. Again, we allow it because people buy the fucking game, and not only do they buy it, because I have a copy of it too, although I got this with the whole fucking package, including everything they made for it, fucking dirt, $10, $12 or something, one of the last Steam sales. You know, one of the Steam sales, not last, we've had it for a while. But yeah, these people that still play the vanilla and defend it, like, oh yeah, this is a great system. No, they want you to pay the commanders. That's not a great system. That's not a great system. It's pay to play. You know, make the game free to play, then you can fucking charge me for commanders all you want. But no, this isn't a fucking mobile game. It's not a free to play game. It's just absolute bullshit again. And it doesn't improve the game. It doesn't make the game better. The game was better before as far as how you pick your abilities than it is with the bullshit commander system they have now. You know, more hand-holding, more dumbing down. It just seems to be the fucking case with almost everything nowadays. But there you have it. So I'd like to hear anyone else's thoughts. You know, does anyone else agree? You know, maybe it's an age-related thing. I don't know. Maybe it's because, you know, again, when I used to, in the day, man, you know, old school game, when you fucking bought a game, the game was either good or it was shit. It was that simple. If it was good, you played the shit out of it for a long fucking time. And that was what you did. You didn't rely on all kinds of other dumb shit, and they weren't cash grabbing all the time. You didn't need constant extra added shit to it because everything was in the game already. So, you know, so this shit just doesn't cut it with me, man. Not a motherfucking thing. Wow, what the fuck does this But, yeah, it's unfortunate. This is a cool map called the Kessel, by the way. And, really cool, like rain and mud in this blown-up city. Problem is, on the high zoom, it makes everything far. And I guess this map was made with vanilla in mind, where you're like literally like have your face fucking planted against, you know, right down on the action. But yeah, so, but it's a cool map. It's unfortunate that it looked like this. I guess I could try, because I'd like to play this map again and maybe put a video together with it, and you know, maybe do a good standard zoom for Annihilation. That way, you know, I can have a couple clicks in closer to this, be able to see it a little better. But yeah, so there you have it. I don't know, yeah, if anyone has anything to say, then I'd like to get some comments. I know this isn't like my thing. I'm not looking to change things up and start having all these rant videos all the time about other shit. But yeah, I just think it's sad. And if I could even get a few people, or even one or two motherfuckers, not to buy into this fucking bullshit Star Wars game, you know, into EA's new fucking model, then it would be well worth making this video. I don't give a shit if I get, you know, all down, only one like it, everybody else doesn't like it. If one person doesn't like it, you know, the new Battlefront, and it helps convince.
We've lost an anti-tank gun.
You know, fucking EA to quit the bullshit. It'll be worth it, because I know there's if you look at like popular YouTubers that have been talking about this shit, you look and see how many comments people are saying they're not going to deal with it or get it, and that's great. I'm glad, because it takes the gamers to actually change things, because it all comes down to money for those companies. And you know, if it gets to the point where people just aren't buying their shit out of principle, regardless if they want it or not, 'cause it's not going to kill you not to have Battlefront. It's not, again, it wasn't even that great anyway. It was cool, but it wasn't like some fucking like, oh wow, like the first Battlefronts were. You know, it's not that epic giant battle fucking scale. It's more like Call of Duty style, small. Even if when you had 20 on 20, it didn't feel like it, because the maps were all spread out. It was more, it felt like more like a Call of Duty style, you know, map, or you know, play.
Waiting orders.
But yeah, I would like to hear what other people think. You know, are other people getting it? Are you not getting it? Are you getting it? You know, and I'm just curious if you know, people's just willingness to deal with shit like, you know, Relic doing pay-to-play commanders, or any of this shit. Like if it's just a generational thing, if it's just because that's kind of been that way for, you know, the last, I'd say 10 years. Probably been about 10 years of the experimentation, the pre-ordering, I think it was, that's probably what started, it was pre-ordering, and then the kind of like microtransaction-y shit. You know, really, yeah, within the last 10 years, I'd say it really started. So, yeah, I guess if you're someone that's in your 20s now, you know, you've kind of always experienced it. It's just always been there. And maybe to you, it's just, you know, you look at this as, you know, just a bunch of old motherfuckers bitching. But, you know, it's really not the case. You just, you know, I mean, what comes next? What's after the microtransactions, and what's after the just what completely pay the game, and then you have a monthly fee to pay it on top of buying it, and you have microtransactions? I mean, what's the next step? Because it will push until they can't push anymore. And there's anyone that says that's not true is full of shit. The only thing that will stop them from doing it is people not buying their shit, and they lose enough money. So, I mean, look at right now, like in in Hollywood right now, all these fucking people are being outed for like sexually abusing people and shit. Motherfuckers are kicking like Spacey. I mean, Kevin Spacey, man, who doesn't love like the Kaiser So Safe, the Usual Suspects? You know, like Spacey's been all kinds of cool shit, right? I mean, House of Cards, they got this huge series on Netflix. They pulled that shit. They pulled him off there because nobody wants to deal with the bad shit. But it's odd, in the gaming industry, you can have a company that has had nothing but bad publicity over a fucking anticipated game for like a month now. Nothing but bad publicity, and it just doesn't even matter. People are still gonna buy the shit. They're still gonna make it. They're gonna push further and further and further. So, you know, it's sexual abuse or sexual harassment is far worse than a game company trying to, you know, fucking milk you out of money. I'm not trying to compare the two, but you know, it's just bad publicity is usually a bad thing for a company or a person. For them, it doesn't even fucking matter. It's bad publicity. You know, I guess we'd have to see. I can't wait to see what the numbers are. Just see how it sells. I'm guessing it's going to sell really well, and people are going to buy the shit out of it, and it'll end up sitting on the shelf. You know, only the diehards will keep playing it, because again, for as cool as it wasn't like, oh my god, this is great. I was like, oh, this isn't bad, this sounds cool. And you know, there were so many other things that just sucked about it that you know, it wasn't making me feel like some amazing thing I had to play. So there you have it. Yeah, Company Heroes 3, by the way. You know, what's everybody's thoughts on that? I mean, Relic, you know, I'm sure that you guys have all done the survey. If you haven't done the Relic survey, I wish I had a link to it. You know, they contacted me and said, hey, you know, if you have a Relic account, they're going to send you a survey. They know you play this shit. You know, if you're playing the Company Heroes stuff. Excuse me. Yeah, they sent me the fucking survey. I did that. I mean, and you know, I had to open up the fucking game from the modders. But if you're gonna do a part 3, why don't you look at what the modders actually fucking do and take note? Because once your game is, you know, the only reason anyone plays Company Heroes 1 anymore is because of like Europe at War and Blitzkrieg and Eastern Fronts, and no one's playing it for the game. And again, I'm shocked that people still play this vanilla piece of shit on Company Heroes 2. It's not to say they didn't have some great innovations. Again, this I'm in the process right now of uploading while I'm making this video here. I'm uploading a video of a Blitzkrieg mod. I just put it against the, you know, the AI like on standard or something. Because I hadn't played it, and it's like you know, Blitzkrieg 5.0 or whatever the fuck. I haven't played it forever. You know, Blitzkrieg's a cool mod. It was great, but man, you don't have the true sight. The UI is so much shittier. This is far superior UI. This is far superior graphics.
We're losing a capture point.
The true sight makes a world of difference in the gameplay. The little shit like hopping over fences, the reverse mechanic, you know, there is a ton of awesome shit that Relic put into this new game's engine. You know, but again, the game is so fucking goofy, like, you know, the damage and just how fucking few units and the pay-to-play model they put in. You know, so with all the good shit they did a ton of bad. But you look at the modders, like, look at this fucking thing I'm playing right here, Wickinger. I mean, look, this isn't even a completed doctrine. It's just a linear doctrine like their standard fucking vanilla. But it's the whole gameplay. The use of camouflage and the use of spotters and the fucking just all the cool shit, Blitzkrieg-esque. But I will even argue, I mean, again, I still think Wickinger has the ability to be a better mod than Blitzkrieg. And if you're looking at Blitzkrieg, had a game that was completely open for modding. They could put any unit they wanted into it. They could do anything they wanted with it. This game is, these guys are fucking limited with what they could do. They can't put, they can't just make whatever vehicle they want. There's no super Pershing, no jumbo. They can't just sit here and make all this shit because you can't put models in for vehicles. So they're at a complete disadvantage. But to make a mod that works in a similar fashion to Company of Heroes 1 and Blitzkrieg, but make it as cool as it is, and really the speed, the pacing, it's very in line with those mods. But yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what Wick and Drew, would have been like if they could have added whatever the fuck.
Emplacement under attack.
Would have been just, I mean, it's already, again, my favorite, but I mean, I can't imagine how cool it would have been. I'm sure we would have had Hellcats, and we would have had fucking Jumbos, and, all kinds of other shit that isn't in this fucking game. So.
My lord, a tank's been lost.
But yeah, Company Heroes 3. You know what? I thought about this, and they asked what kind of mechanics or things. They had some really stupid ideas. Like, do you want to be able to like mix armies? Do you want to have use cards or something? They had some weird questions on that survey. Almost like you want to build a deck.
An emplacement is being attacked.
Fucking characters, bring them into a battle like Halo Wars 2 or some weird shit. That's what it seemed like to me. And I said, no, man, put a fucking stress mechanic on the guys. Have a stress mechanic. Why, that's something you can do. Have an actual, so if you have like a group of guys in a building and there's tanks coming or whatever, you could have like something where maybe they would fucking cut and run and you lose control of them. They cut and run, or they would surrender, like a surrender mechanic. And they had something, if you played Blitzkrieg, there's that Africa add-on, D-Day 1944, whatever the fuck, add-on, historical add-on for Blitzkrieg, which is really fucking cool. And during their Africa add-on, like you could actually have troops surrender, and like you'd see them walking off the map with their hands, over their heads, like they were, like on their head, or the fuck, they were surrendering. And I think that would be a cool mechanic. Or like if you played any of the Total War games, like when they, sometimes the guys lose their shit and they start panicking, and you could even like have it where it could lead to friendly fire, it could lead to whatever the fuck. I mean, these would not be that hard of mechanics to implement, honestly. So yeah, I mean, the Company Heroes 3, that would be cool. I would also like to see some, where's the love for my fellow Marines, man? Where is the love for the Pacific Theater? You don't really see too much with Pacific Theater when it comes to this, but I don't see why they couldn't have a whole nother, add Japan. Add them in. Add Italy. Why the fuck isn't Italy in here? I mean, you could really do a lot with this. Italy wouldn't have to be some fucking super amazing superpower faction. Or you could have them use German support or something. I mean, if you want to even them out or whatever. And Italy actually did have some fucking outstanding planes, some great arty. They did have some good shit. So there's no reason it could be using a faction or even a doctrine or something. But yeah, add the Japanese, add the fucking Marines, man. Where's the fucking Marines? And the Marines fought in Europe too, but there's no Marines mentioned here at all in any of this. And yes, I'm partial. I can't help it. Once a Marine, always one. So it's hard to get that out of you. But yeah, man, just that would be cool. And I put all that shit in the survey. So if you guys haven't taken that fucking survey, I mean, I'm sure you can find it looking at Relic site or something. But fucking tell them, man. Let these modders get their fucking tools, so that they can put a fucking Hellcat in. I want a Hellcat, goddammit. It pisses me off to put a Hellcat. I want a Jumbo Sherman and just whatever the fuck else. I want this shit in here. Let these guys, have free reign on these games. These, more tools would just fucking awesome to be able to do all that shit. But yeah, I don't know if you guys mind, if you even listened to what I've said, or I guess if you are, you're probably not watching the gameplay, or maybe you're turning the sound off and you're watching the game in the background. I don't know. But should we ramble on any further, or just be done? Let's see, how much more time do I have in this game? Shit, man, there's still 16 minutes in this game. I don't remember if I'm pretty sure I won. crashed. I did play a map, this awesome fucking like submarine-based map. It's like a 3-on-3. Playing that yesterday, and what a cool fucking map. And they have to crashed on me. And I'm running you know, my shit's hooked into my TV. I think I've mentioned this. You know, I'm sitting on my couch in front of the fucking big ass TV, and my PC's hooked up to the TV.
An emplacement is being attacked.
You know, it looks like a 1080p monitor. It's you know, plenty good. It works nice, but I have a GTX 1070 Founders Edition card. The Intel i7. It's the 6700K overclock, and it's overclocked. Do I still have it overclocked? I think I still do. You know, I have 16 gigs DDR4 RAM, shit like that. I mean, it's my system's cool. I mean, it does, you know, it's plenty powerful. And with this particular game, man, with everything set to ultra, I sometimes get lag, and I'm just playing against the AI, you know, most of the time. I do play games, like some co-op games with my friends and shit, but I don't normally post them because most of them don't want to ever be recorded or anything. So some of them are actually pretty funny, and I would like to record them, but you know, like if you watch out there, like Shermanator and all those guys playing together, it's fun when you play with your friends. You have a different rapport than playing with fucking complete strangers, which isn't bad. I've done that too, but you know, I prefer to play with friends. It's just most of my friends do not play this anymore, and then when they do, they don't want to be fucking recorded. So, but yeah, so and there's a glitch. It looks like that fucking canoe paddle troop, that German canoe paddle guy, is fucking stuck with that fucking set of British sappers in the woods over there behind the building. It's weird because I had a set of guys back there too, and I was able to get them out of there. So I don't know. Yeah, there's the canoe paddles, level 3 canoe paddles. So, well, yeah, it's nice to see Matt the Dane Gaming putting up some Spearhead videos again. I'm watching some of his. Krieger Blish is still doing some good shit with his, you know, Blitzkrieg mod. You know, Tiger Knights 96. So yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, the Company Hero series is really good shit. What is that, a fucking Yag Tiger? Yeah. Let's see, I don't know what the fuck I'm hitting it with. Oh, I'm gonna hit it with some rocket strike from Strafe. Let's see what happens here. And thank you to Wickinger for finally adding the land mattress piece. I noticed one of the facts, or one of the documents, that wasn't in it before, so that's cool. I know Spearhead's had that for a while. That was a cool thing, you know, a little mini fly. Another thing I would like to see in Call of Duty or Company Heroes would be the ability to, if you're taking these fucking anti-tank guns or a land mattress or something that you could, or you know, 50 cal emplacement or something, that you could use fucking trucks to tow the shit around. You know, actually make trucks a little more useful. Right now, who the fuck uses them? In Company Heroes 1, I would use them here and there on the Blitzkrieg on the really big maps to get my troops from the fucking base to the front line super fast, because you didn't have, you know, maybe you didn't have any fucking houses you could build or put anything up there for front line reinforcement as easily. I mean, I think you could always use the half tracks and stuff. You could, like, build a lot of the shit out of the forward bases anyway. I mean, still, if you want to get fucking guns up there and shit, it would be great if you could tow them up there with the fucking, like a truck. Like, hook them up to a truck, tow them up. It'd be hard to do that graphically. Tow those bitches to the front, get them up to the front line quick, and then send the truck back, and you can just fucking send the truck off the map if you wanted to, or whatever the fuck. Then, you know, whatever, they can do whatever they want. You see here in Wickinger, one of the cool things they added, like an infantry doctrine, is you can call in. I mean, again, it's these little things in Wickinger, they just make it fucking awesome. But yeah, like when you call in your munitions in Wickinger for the infantry doctrine, trucks actually pull onto the fucking map to the spot you dropped on the ground. And then you click it, they drop the fucking box for you, and then they drive away. I mean, that is fucking cool, man. It's little shit like that, dude, or the captured vehicles that are treated like the ragtag circus. Just the shit they do, man. You know, again, that's why I think tech, it really has the ability to be the best for them. The engine's better overall here for Company Heroes 2. You've got better UI, you've got better shit overall for a base to start with. You know, aside from the fact that you can't have the models and crap, but yeah, man, Wickinger is fucking badass. So, yeah, just really like what they're doing. And I'm really looking forward to more. That beta should be ready. Saw something coming out. Beta should be out soon for the new Iron Will doctrine. Looking forward to testing that. I'm not gonna be able to video it.
The enemy are attacking an emplacement.
But yeah. You know, I'm looking forward to really. There's still so much shit for them to do, which sucks, man. I wish they could enlist some more motherfuckers to help them knock out these doctrines and get the, you know, I really want this shit to progress. Even though it's still playable as it is and all that shit is still fun. I really like to some of these doctrines. And then I guess if Relic ever does release all the body tools, they can put vehicles in. And then what? Then they have to have someone working on vehicles, because you know that they have to have a jumbo. Or I would never shut up about it until they put one in. And then they would have to put in a Hellcat and some other shit. On top of my head. And I still look forward to them converting over, you know, quad 50%. And all right, that's it. Look, I still can keep the old Blitzkrieg Africa hat on there. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble. I would really like to hear everyone's thoughts on Relic. You know, no one talks about this whole painful thing, man, that they did. I mean, I know it's old now. The game's been out for a long time, but. You guys okay with that shit? I mean, what do you think the next step is? I mean, after they do it, what's the next step? All of this shit is a slippery slope. It just leads to another attempt, you know, and really more so is, you know, EA and all the bullshit they've been pulling for years now, for a decade. You know, whether it's, you know, buying up all the licenses or getting all the official sponsorships for sports so no one else can make games for it, or, you know, what all the shit they pull. You know, to their pre-order crap, to season passes, all the shit that has led up to a game like Star Wars Battlefront 2 being a complete pay-to-play, I mean, piece of shit. And really, you know, DICE, man, that's what just makes it bad too, man. We look so fucking forward to my favorite, you know, military shooter company, you know, DICE, who I've been a big Battlefield fan for a long time. And by the way, I would also like to bring this up.
An emplacement is being attacked.
DICE, fuck it. Battlefield 1. It reminds me a lot of this, you know, like this new Battlefront. The graphics are fucking cool, you know, the maps are pretty neat, but there's something about Battlefield 1, and it's not because it's set in World War I, because they didn't give everybody bolt actions, and even then, I wouldn't even mind that. And they did make a mode called Standard Issue Rifles, which I actually think is fucking awesome, because, you know, now you have, like, it's more realistic. People were running around with those machine guns in World War I. And I run through the trenches carrying some machine gun and shit. This shit was not common. But yeah, everyone had a machine gun, you know, except for like the medic class. I think started with a bolty or a sniper had a bolt action. So, yeah, man. But even Battlefield 1, they got rid of bases. They pretty much, now you still, when you get into a plane, when you spawn, you just magically spawn into the air. You see a lot of similarities from this Battlefield 1 in the new Battlefront. I mean, they obviously took a lot of notes from what they did in Battlefield 1. Which, again, I thought Battlefield 4 was a pretty outstanding game overall. I thought Part 2 was pretty outstanding overall. You know, I didn't quite think they were necessarily as fun or as great as the Bad Company series, mostly because of destructibility. You had a lot of destructibility in 4, but not to the extent that you did in Bad Company. Bad Company, you could level everything. You could literally just level fucking everything. I mean, you see someone hiding in a building, you just blow the fucking wall out. You're in a tank, you see some asshole sniping, poking his head out up in a building, just fucking shoot the wall and kill him. Take the whole fucking house to the ground. You know, and they kind of got away from that in Battlefield 3, and then Battlefield 4 they brought, like, you know, the bullshit procedurally generated, or not procedurally, like, you need some stupid event to cause destruction, but it really didn't happen near the destruction of the company. And Battlefield 1 doesn't have that level of destruction either. I mean, there's some, but it's very scripted. You can't just bring everything down. You know, so... And granted, I mean, if you look at the Bad Company graphics, they were bringing down some pretty, like, empty buildings. You know, they were pretty empty houses and buildings with no doors on anything. And the ones that did have doors, you opened it by using your knife. You, like, hit your knife button, open doors, you know, just basically broke the door down. But again, it doesn't matter. It was fucking fun, so yeah, that's the most important thing. And look at this Wickinger. While we're at this again, look at this shit here, man. How do you guys like this fact that Wickinger does that you can't just do call-in artilleries? I mean, you have to either build an emplacement, which, you know, emplacements, everyone knows this, man. I mean, once someone knows where they are, they, you know, fucking last too long typically. They can hit right in scenarios, right? Go after and take them out. Or if you're gonna call in like these off-map artillery style things, you have to use a piece like that Valentine tank that's right there at the bottom of the screen. You know, you use that to actually call in your artillery, but if that piece is not on the field, you cannot call in those artilleries. You have to have that piece on the field. You know, or the artillery spotters to call shit in. I mean, that's a unique thing, and that's why I just hear so many people saying that they think that there's some unique ripoff. I've heard that many times, and I don't think they get it. You can call me a fanboy, call me whatever the fuck you want. I will say, yeah, I am a fanboy. I like good shit. If shit's good, then I like it. That's just what it is. I'm not getting paid by them to fucking say anything. They're cool guys, whatever the fuck, you know. If this game sucked, and like again, if you look at my original videos with Wickinger, they were all like, yeah, I'm not into this, man. It's just too slow, too this, too that. And it was just in its infancy, man. It was, you know, originally hadn't have enough done to make the game, you know, to bring that level of fun with realism. It was like more based on realism. The fun wasn't there. I mean, it was just different. You know, with armor penetrations and shit. Also, I like how Wickinger makes all the bodies stay. That's pretty kick-ass. There's just the carcasses everywhere. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So when I hear this, like, oh, they're ripping shit off. I mean, I don't know, man. I guess people. It's easy to say if you're not actually playing it. I'm guessing 9 times out of 10 people they tried it once, never tried it again. Try or two. Maybe they tried it a lot. I don't know. And they just remember Blitzkrieg differently. But I just put up a Blitzkrieg video today. It's pretty crazy, like with Blitzkrieg, and not to down it. I mean, the engine was different, but you know, it was weird when I grabbed a group of guys in Blitzkrieg, and I wanted to go on an assault, and they were all similar, like riflemen, like a couple of riflemen. They all had grenades, right? I had a couple of them. Well, I had to click on the individual units to throw their grenades, whereas Wickinger implemented, and this is not an engine thing, this is something Wickinger did. Again, some of the shit they do is just super outstanding. If you have like a group of riflemen and some engineers, whatever the fuck, they can all throw a grenade. That grenade ability shows up. And you can click on that grenade ability while you have multiple guys picked and fucking chuck the grenade. Or you can click it multiple times and throw a bunch of them. Shit like that. You can make them all sprint. Because every unit has sprints. So you click sprint and they will all sprint. You don't have to click them individually. You know, it's... Again, man, some of the shit they do is outstanding. I mean, I still want fucking grenades being able to be thrown out of a house. When is, you know, that still hasn't happened yet. Of course it's going to, but, you know, everything's not perfect, obviously, but the shit they do, man. You know, I don't think people like pay attention to some of that shit, but that kind of stuff is really fucking awesome. And it's actually, it's a gameplay thing too, so. Well, alright. I've rambled for an hour. I didn't realize this video was that long. It's almost an hour long. I don't know. Hopefully somebody got something out of this. I know I did. Because I'm so pissed about the fucking, just the state of gaming, I guess, in general. The gaming industry. You know, and I'm really pissed about the Star Wars Battlefront. Because I really, really wanted to have a good Battlefront game, so. And I've gone back and they've reopened up the old 2005 Battlefront 2, and I was playing a little bit of that because I do still own it, and it was cool and all, but, you know, it's just so dated. You know, it's just super dated, and, you know, that's it. You take that same kind of mechanics, throw the modern graphics and, you know, the modern shit, like the way people move and crap, like in the new one, it's you'd be like, there you go, it's a perfect game. You need to change a fucking thing. But there you have it. All right, thanks for watching, and thanks for Harvey Jewface for making this cool map, the Kessel. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Again, I would like to hear comments. I would like to hear, you know, what people think. I think that would be great, you know, and if you know, and I don't plan on doing a bunch of these videos either, so if you don't like it, sorry, don't worry, I won't be doing many of these, but I don't know, I think every once in a while it's a good thing to kind of discuss these other things like the state of gaming. So all right, have a good one, see you in the next one.